So as you can see, it looks like they've started to block off this whole area, including up here near our apartments, to begin the demo work on this retaining wall. They're going to be extending it according to the plan. And then over here, teaching building number 1 has been going through a lot of renovations. You can see they've got new lighting, new wiring, and new paint, and also some new blackboards. So also some new fans. Traffic out here. It's a beautiful day here in Zhongshan. I haven't done a drive around the neighborhood in a while, so I thought I'd do it today. So I'm happy to report that even though in public, when you're out on the street, you're not required to wear a mask, but everyone continues to wear a mask. It's part of the culture here. Society kind of demands that you wear it. In fact, you kind of feel naked if you don't have it on. Yeah, so most of the people riding around, you see these 2 ladies on this bike right here. One of them's wearing it, the other one is not. So occasionally you do run across someone. Here's another guy not wearing a mask. So you see some of them here and there, but I can guarantee you that as soon as they go anywhere that's public, they will flip that mask right back on. And, you know, just out on the roads and out on the streets. Here's another guy smoking a cigarette. Yeah, so out here on the streets, there's another guy smoking a cigarette, no mask. It's kind of a little bit looser, but every public place that you go to where there's people, you are definitely donning your mask. So let's see. We got a new noodle shop that's open. So these are the factories here. Still have controlled entry in all of the factories that I see here. They've really stepped up the precautions. Now, Zhongshan, this part of Zhongshan is considered a low-risk area. Now, don't confuse that with no risk. It's simply low risk, which is different. You still are required to take some precautions and do some elements of social distancing, especially in like restaurants and stuff. But you can see a lot more activity here on the streets. I've driven down these roads before. I'm going to go to some of the other factory places here in Zhongshan to take a look. And you can see workers out getting their lunch. It is lunchtime right now. So remember, it's not just factory workers, you know, line workers. It's also the salespeople, the managers, the engineers. You know, this is a very, very big employment center, not just for the city of Zhongshan, but for, you know, the province of Guangdong. I'm just going for a leisurely drive. It is a Thursday. Here is a shopping center that is completely closed. There's no activity. This used to be like, you know, food courts and small, you know, clothing stores. This here is Wistron. Wistron is a giant industrial park, really. Wistron is a Taiwanese company, very similar to Foxconn as far as how they operate and what they make. At this particular factory, they make Dell computers, laptops, and tablets, and things like that. On this side of the campus is where most of the dormitories are. I know the people here at Wistron very well. They're extremely nice. I have taught at this campus in the past, and I've really enjoyed my time working there. And the people who work there, my students there, have been first rate. Wistron is one of the larger employers here in Zhongshan. So there's some workers going to lunch. This is one of the employee entrances to the complex. You see everyone's out, lunchtime, having a cigarette. That's just one of them. There are many of them similar to that, different companies making different things. And even this company has another more state-of-the-art facility out near the Zhongshan port. So over here, you see this is the Zhongshan port, which goes on and on and on for a couple of kilometers down the seaboard here. And activity, it's tough to gauge the activity from the outside. There's an awful lot less truck traffic, that's for sure. But the Zhongshan port has one of the roads here are also really bad because of the heavy truck traffic. The Zhongshan port is got one of the highest container capacities in Guangdong. Yeah. Here, this is a pharmaceutical company. Many drug companies, many foreign enterprises here from Japan, from Korea, and obviously local companies as well, making all sorts of products you can imagine. It's just awesome to be able to drive through here and take a look at the magnitude of it all. This is a soy sauce manufacturer, and this is an actual soy sauce museum that it's not open right now, but you can actually go here and check it out. You see here, it's actual ski boat and some Sea-Doos. A couple of Sea-Doos, huh? That's something I haven't actually seen in Zhongshan, first time. Good for them, man. I hope they're having fun. So this boardwalk, you can see there's nobody on it, but it goes maybe a kilometer that way. Some kind of industrial plant. I have no idea what they make here. It doesn't seem to be open. Looks like it's kind of renovating a little bit, at least this portion of this is a massive complex. So this area here looks like it is in operation. And you can see it's just huge. And then all of this here is geared and has infrastructure for building in the future on both sides of this highway. You can see here at most malls that have power stations for electrical vehicles. Boy, it's a real maze in here. You can see half the parking structure is closed off. Now I'm here at Yuanyang, which is not a large mall, but a popular mall here on the east side of Zhongshan. And as you can see, restaurants are getting open for lunchtime. Just gonna walk through here and see what it's like. Here at the food court, looks like most of the stands are open, which is great to see. Not nearly as many customers as there used to be, but I'm very happy to see business. Children's arcades and fun zones have opened, as well as the gyms. However, I don't see many people in the gyms these days. Unfortunately, and this is throughout China, the movie theater is still closed. And this is, I think, the best movie theater in Zhongshan. All of them are closed. And of course, the English training centers are closed. And not all the restaurants have made it, unfortunately. So you can see my gym has reopened, but there's nobody here. I have a whole place to myself. The swimming pool is filled with water and been cleaned, but it's not open yet, so there's no lap swimming. Something that I wouldn't mind learning how to do. It's actually quite popular here at this gym, but again, nobody's here. I'm not the only one out of shape in this town. Everyone is out of shape after being locked up for so long. Even this week, I went to go play some badminton, and all my badminton friends, you know, they were really out of shape, just like me, really rusty technique. But you know, also a couple of ankle injuries, a couple of knee injuries, so gotta go slow. So this is the new normal. Everywhere you go, people are wearing masks. They spray everything with hand sanitizer. So like my membership card for the gym, they spray that after they get it, and then and right before they give it to me. Oh, that's loud. That would drive me crazy. But in addition, the little key thing for your locker, they spray that with alcohol. I mean, it's the new normal here. You can see here in the international food section, they're starting to run low on certain items. You can see just a couple left over there. But the domestic goods all over there are well stocked. This was an organic foods, vegetables restaurant, and you can see it's not going to open anytime soon. I think you can pretty much say that if a restaurant hasn't opened by now, it's probably not going to open. So this is something unfortunate I have to point out. The pharmacy behind me has refused me service. They said because I'm a foreigner and that I'm dangerous, they don't know if I'm sick. And I'm not trying to buy medicine, I'm just trying to buy the Joe immune booster. It's like basically buying vitamin C or the equivalent of it. It's very unfortunate that these things are happening to foreigners in China right now. It's not the first time it's happened to me in the last couple of weeks. I was also denied entry into a computer market, into a park, and into a restaurant. And that's even if I have the app available. Now, it's nothing compared to what's going on in Guangzhou, but these little things are just a couple of bad apples here and there that don't really understand. I'm sure in time it'll pass. And that's not just happening to me, it's happening to everybody. Every foreigner in China over the last couple of weeks has had a story or two with regards to these little incidents. Now, I will say that almost all of my Chinese friends who I talk to about these little moments are disgusted by it, and they think it's terrible. So it's definitely not something that you see everywhere. It's just, little things here and there. I'm questioned by security a lot. Just about everywhere I go, everyone wants to know where I'm from. People just look at me and they're a little bit more scared of me, it seems. I haven't put out a video in a while because my computer crashed. I kept on getting the blue screen of death, and finally this did quit on me. It's a Xiaomi computer, and I had to take it to a Xiaomi repair center here in Zhongshan to have it cleaned up and fixed up, and I'm headed there now to pick up the computer. Now, Xiaomi computers in China do not have an English version of Windows. There is a hack for that. You can download the English pack and turn it into English, which I'm gonna have to redo because I have lost everything on that hard drive. Now, a lot of it I backed up, but there's still a couple of lesson plans and a lot of raw footage, including my video that I did of the Pullman in Dongguan. It was a great video. I was very excited to release. It was all done. The editing was great. It was one of the best hotel videos I had ever done, and it's all lost and gone. And I want to apologize to the folks at the Pullman in Dongguan because they really rolled out the red carpet for me there and showed me a wonderful evening, and I was the only one in the hotel, and so I got a lot of personal attention, and I was really excited to share my experiences with all of you. Unfortunately, I have lost all of that, and I'm sorry to all you guys too. Before you enter the hospital, you need to fill out these forms here at these tables. Basically, it's a declaration form just saying that you have no symptoms and what you're going to see the doctor for, and this is all a brand new system. And this is just one of the entrances. There's only 2 entrances to outpatient. I've done video of this hospital before. Although it's a traditional medicine hospital, they also have modern techniques and modern facilities. Everything you can think of in conjunction with traditional medicine. And as you can see here, down here, this is where you come in, paperwork and temperature check, and then you can come into the rest of the outpatient wing. Very well designed and very efficient hospital system. This is the same place that I came to get my shoulder fixed. The inpatient building here, my treatment was on one of these floors somewhere, I don't remember. But this is one of the more modern, newer hospitals in Zhongshan. They're still on low alert, so they have very, very controlled entry everywhere you go. Lots of paperwork to get in. These down here, these were the COVID-19 intake buildings. But in the entire city of Zhongshan, there were only 68 confirmed cases since the very beginning. So they're pretty much went unused, but they were prepared. This over here is a brand new park that's really beautiful that I can't wait to explore. There's only one entrance to it right here though. Just across the street from the hospital, we have one entrance. All the other entrances are closed, so they control who's allowed in and out of the parks. And as you can see, this is a very lovely, other than the noise coming, that's construction noise across the street. This is a very lovely little city park here. I've said it before and I'll say it again. The parks in China are truly amazing. And they opened the basketball courts up again. Zhongshan was recently voted the best public restrooms in Guangdong. Oh, good for Zhongshan. So what this is actually an old irrigation canal for the farms that used to be here. And they've got flood control basins on both sides, but they've kept a kind of a wetland ecology here. I like that they've incorporated like a natural wetlands into the city park itself. In English, the name of this park is the Rainbow Oasis Wetland Park. A new space for a future vendor. But unfortunately, it looks like not all of the elements of the park are open to the public. So you're probably wondering, why did I come to the hospital? That's not for me. I'll share with you. It's something that I've actually seen a lot of foreigners do over the last couple of weeks, the last couple of months really. Those who have stayed and fought the virus with the Chinese people have been searching for ways that they can support the community and give back. You know, I have friends all throughout China who have done massive things, but it's the little things that you see a lot of foreigners do that really don't get any credit. I have a friend of mine who every time he goes hiking, he will pick up garbage along the trail. That's something that I haven't done, but he has inspired me to try to incorporate that into my hikes in the future. You can give blood, you can give time. Now for me, I have a friend who has a little girl, and this little girl, she's about 10, 11 years old, a brave little girl. She recently had surgery to remove a couple of cysts from behind both her ears, and you can imagine, fear of having any kind of surgery at that age, right? The surgery was done, but she has to go back to the hospital every day to have the dressings redone. Scary thing for a 10-year-old, Her parents are busy earning a living and take care of other things, and so I volunteered to take the little girl to the hospital myself. Now, the first couple times I was here, it was a nightmare trying to get through security and all the questions. I mean, you can imagine this. Here's a foreigner with a 10-year-old Chinese girl walking her through the hospital. What's going on? And the little girl was very good at explaining things and getting me through it. And when she was getting this done, she would cry. You just hold her hand and tell her to breathe, and she'll be okay. We do what we can, because let's face it, I'm not doing much else. I'm not allowed back in the classroom. Now, Guangdong did release some start dates for some classes. It's going to be about 4 weeks in the middle of May for me. What that looks like, I don't know yet. The gates are closed to foreigners, so none of my colleagues can come back. So I don't know if that means the workload for me will be bigger or the same. We will find that out in due time.